for the Morning Watch with Mr. Stokeley Marshall. Today, the Morning Watch is sponsored by Educom, Cooperative Credit Union, proving value through service, and also Bashco, the store that gives you more.
Educom does it again with the mega car loan sale. 100% financing, interest rate of 6.95%, and up to 10 years to repay. Hurry now and visit any of our 9 branches. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 or WhatsApp 876-559-7575 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Value through service.
To Mom with Love, Bashco is giving away 2 refrigerators this Mother's Day. Starting April 24th for every 6,000 Jamaican dollars inclusive of GCT spent in Bashco, you get a chance to win.
That's right. Just fill out your entry form and drop it in the box provided at all Bashco locations. It's that simple. The winner will be chosen on May 12, 2023 during our fun day at our Manimal store located at 10 Manchester Road.
The more you spend at Bashco, the more chances you have to win.
Check the press and our social media pages for details.
Bashco, the store that gives you more this Mother's Day.
All right, under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM, the number 1 gospel station in Jamaica. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. If you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also check us out on Love 101 FM Facebook Live and YouTube Live. In the first watch today. Now the Black Lives Matter flag flies at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. Any thoughts and concerns? And in the second watch, the secrets behind scholarship shopping. The secrets behind scholarship shopping. In our social media question, we ask, what do you think about the BLM flag flying at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston? Share your responses on our Facebook or YouTube, Love 100 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share a comment later on the program, but first, as I quote.
Good morning, good morning. Today's I quote is a inspiration quote. It says, what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. And this quote is by Jane Goodall.
Okay, so good morning, Jukal. Interpret this one now, please, sir.
All right, so what you do makes a difference, and you have to, definitely. So it's self-explanatory.
Yes, but I wonder if there's a little riddle in there. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide. You have to decide on your own. You decide after you pray to God. On what basis you decide? Anyway, it sounds like an interesting quote. Mr. Dyer, you good today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. Well, great being on the show today. The main watch will be back after this break.
Are you ready for another exciting show inside Alive 1 to 5 this Thursday, June 22? Well, join me, your host, Sarah Allen, Trophy One, for another time to recollect and reconnect. Stay tuned for the brain testing when decides at 1:45. Then prayer blast will be at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside pieces of the past. We share with you on the parish of St. Catherine. Then at 3 p.m., Met We Talk with throwback artists spanning over 25 years in the gospel music industry. Bridget Blucher Part 2. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This throwback Thursday, June 22 on the family station, Love 101. celebrating 30 years of music, family, and life.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on Habasco. Get it on Habasco. Habasco. Be everything with your need. Quality service guaranteed on Habasco. Yeah, furniture for your house, everything for your kitchen, and more at Habasco. The store that gives you more. Habasco. Educom does it again with the mega car loan sale. 100% financing, interest rate of 6.95% and up to 10 years to repay. Hurry now and visit any of our 9 branches. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 or WhatsApp 876-559-7575 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Value through service.
You work hard to make Jamaica a first-class destination. Isn't it time you receive the 5-star benefits? Retire smarter with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, a portable plan that also provides your family with financial security in case of your untimely death. It's easy, affordable, and accessible online. Retire and relax with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme. Visit twps.myguardiangroup.com or call 876-927-4105. Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
And we're off. Yes, folks, I Love Summer begins with pull-up number 1. And Spanish Town, tag, you're it. Yes, indeed. The Spanish Town Shopping Center, right by the clock, comes alive Saturday, June 24th with a whole day of fun, games, prizes, and entertainment for the whole family.
Meet the Love FM team, dance and praise with music by DJ Rebirth.
Hey, youth and youth, you better listen out, of course I'll be there to bring you the hottest mixes and remixes and refixes.
And passing through to lively up the place, Lubert Levy and Odia Spencer. I love Summer Keith, and you have got to be part of it. So, rock and Colleen.
And let's make it the place to be.
Hey, KG, Deidre, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. The question is, can Spanish Town handle it? I know they can.
Loads of fun about to be unpacked. So yes, Spanish Town, let's go!
I love summer. Saturday, June 24th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Spanish Town Shopping Center, right by the clock.
Live on Love 101 FM, the family station, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
I love summer.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the main watch, and persons may be aware that there was a LGBTQI flag being flown at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston up to recently. There were lots of protests in the vicinity of the U.S. Embassy because that flag was being flown, the LGBTQI flag. It has since been replaced with a flag, the flag of Black Lives Matter. BLM is supposed to be a campaign against violence and systemic racism towards Black people. But some people might nonetheless have a concern about the BLM flag being flown at the embassy at this time. Is it a better substitute for the flag that was being flown before? We have online today to discuss this Dr. Daniel Thomas, a medical doctor and the president of Love March Movement. We also have Reverend Basil Hanson, founder and president, MTN TV, and he's also an executive member, first vice president of the Association of Christian Communicators and Media. The abbreviation is ACCM. Dr. Thomas, Reverend Hanson, how are you both?
Morning.
Doing well, thank you.
Very much for having us.
Now, I will start by indicating that the U.S., through their State Department, it's part of U.S. foreign policy, documented that actually allows for the flying of the BLM flag at embassies across the world, U.S. embassies across the world. And if one goes to the website for Black Lives Matter, it speaks about its aims and objectives. It is welcoming to Black people, regardless of whether they are, the word that they have on their website is queer or disabled, or there are other criteria. Interestingly, there is a previous page that BLM had on its website, which indicated that it was, and I don't want to misquote, maybe I should actually read what exactly as I'm seeing, but in a nutshell, they were blasting the nuclear family structure. And many persons found that to be very concerning, because the nuclear family structure is what many persons regard as being a pillar of Western civilization, especially in the Christian context. Gentlemen, Reverend Hanson and Dr. Thomas, is the BLM flag a good substitute, a better substitute for the LGBTQI flag being flown at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, in your opinion? Starting with you, Dr. Thomas.
Thanks so much for having me again, Stokeley. First of all, I just want to congratulate and thank all those who spent about 12 days protesting the flying of the LGBT flag. We were out there from the 2nd of June to the 16th of June, with the exception of Sundays, and 1 hour each day. And so we were very happy to see that the promotion of lesbianism, bisexuality, and transgenderism was no longer being something that was being promoted by the U.S. Embassy. And so I want to really thank everyone that has been standing with us and praying with us, and all those motorists that have been tooting their horns, etc. We do take note that the BLM flag has been put up. Now, the statement Black Lives Matter is a good statement, but we know that, especially in the context of the United States, the Black Lives Matter is also an organization. And as you're saying, Stokeley, that organization does stand for the destruction of the nuclear family. But what we have been citing for the LGBT flag is that it is a breach. The flying of the LGBT flag was a breach of Vienna Convention, Articles 31E, 20, and 41. If you look at
so
those,
the flying of the BLM flag is not a breach, you're saying that?
Right, what I'm saying is that the BLM flag would only really breach Article 20. Article 31E speaks to, well, so what happened is that it's a bit more indirect. Black Lives Matter as an organization does support the destruction of the traditional family unit, which would be hostility to our culture and values, which is what Article 31E and 40 speaks to. But it is more a blatant breach of Article 20, which is the flying of a flag which is not the national flag.
Hold that thought 1 second, Dr. Thomas, only because we're almost upon a break already. Reverend Hanson, any thoughts?
Well, thanks again. Thank you, Stokeley, for having me. Good to be here. Stokeley, I believe, we know that the family is under attack, and we want to make it very clear to America or whoever that God created male and female in his image and likeness. And that's what we are going to stand for here in Jamaica. It doesn't matter who want to try and influence us. there are some of us who are going to stand, and I'm really grateful for Dr. Daniel and his team, and those of us who are telling US that we are going to believe God. We are going to stand on God's word, not what they say or what they think. I think US has lost this.
Hold that thought 1 second, Reverend Hanson, only because of time, because we are already upon a break. We'll leave it on. We'll be right back.
Play your part in helping us become rock solid and ready. For more information on the National Natural Disaster Risk Financing Policy, visit mof.gov.jm. The time by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is
7:15 and a half.
This is exactly what I need.
CNWJ Credit Union has a lifestyle loan. Access your CNWJ CCU lifestyle loan anytime you need it. Whatever your reason, emergencies, special occasions, consolidated debt, or everyday expenses. Your lifestyle, your choice. Approval within 24 hours. Apply today. Get a CNWJ Credit Union loan. It's just what you need. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on Habasco. Get it on Habasco. Habasco. For everything with the need. Habasco. The service guaranteed on Habasco. Furniture for your house, everything for your kitchen, box, and more at Habasco. The store that gives you more. Habasco. Educom does it again with the mega car loan sale. 100% financing, interest rate of 6.95% and up to 10 years to repay. Hurry now and visit any of our 9 branches. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 or WhatsApp 876-559-7575 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Value through service.
We've been through hills and valleys, hearts rocking, hearts safe, we got for sure. And every time we thought it was over, the Lord gave us cover, and He defeated our foes. But looking back, we now can say, the Lord is not as on His way. Now we're celebrating 50 years of music family. 50 years of love, we're celebrating 50 years of music family. 50 years of love, we're celebrating 50 years of love. We're celebrating 50 years of love. Stations, love to the nations, the faces of love are in here. The memories of reaching out to listeners all about it. It's very exciting. Everything that we all can say. The Lord is not to slow His way. We're celebrating 50 years of music family. 50 years of love. We're celebrating 50 years of music family. 50 years of love.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the main watch. Our guests in this segment, Dr. Daniel Thomas and Reverend Basil Hanson. The topic is now the Black Lives Matter flag flies at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. Any thoughts and concerns? Reverend Hanson, I think you were in the middle of a point before when we went to the break. Please continue, sir.
Yes, I was saying, Stokeley, it's not just flags that are flying. These flags comes with spirits, right? And they want to unleash spirits on our nation. And we have to understand that, the LGBT flag comes with spirit. And when you exalt that flag, you are exalting Satan and his angels. When you exalt the Black Lives Matter, you are doing the same thing. You're actually going against God because they are against the nuclear family. So these are not just simply flags that are flying. These are spirits that they are trying to unleash on our country and our nation. And we, as spiritual people, have to take a stand. We have to push back against these forces. And so I'm really pleased to see that, the LGBT minus flag is down, because that is no plus. You don't get plus from that. You get minus. So we are declaring that it's not LGBT plus anymore. It's LGBT minus. And so we are grateful, but it's all about spirits, and we need to, one of the things that I like about the former president Donald Trump is that when he was in office, he made it very clear that no other flag should be flown around the world except the American flag, right? These are some of the things why I like Trump, because he took a stand for what he believes, and he believes in the nuclear family. Yes, I'm not saying he's perfect and he got everything right, but when he was the head of the US, there was no gay LGBT flag or no Black Lives Matter flag flying around. When you look at what Black Lives Matter represent, yes, it sounds good to us as Black people. And when they first came out, you thought, boy, they were really advocating for Black lives and all of that. But they are no different from what the white folks did to the Black people, because they are now doing the same to the white people. So we are back at square one. So Black Lives Matter is not really what I am interested in. All life matters. Every single human being, included the abortion that they are pushing. You understand? So you can't tell me Black Lives Matter, but the unborn baby is in the womb does not matter. It's a clump of cells. No. So these people, what they are promoting is not righteousness, is not godly, is not family. They are promoting anarchy, Marxist, and wickedness. And even look at the Black Lives Matter leader. She recently resigned and probably looking at jail time, with the money that she collected. She was living lavishly in white communities. So these people are saying some things that, would tickle the ears of the Black people. But what they are doing underneath is totally different from Black. They don't care about Black Lives Matter, because they only select certain Black lives that they would want to address and talk about, those that they would benefit from. And so we have to take a stand. The flag should not be there. Only flag should be up there is the US flag. And we need to say that loud and clear. US must stop bullying weaker countries. Tell them to go down to Saudi Arabia and all of those countries and bully them. But instead they come and they bully all the little weak countries in the Caribbean. US is a bully, and we need to say it and stop being afraid because we want to hold on to a US visa. This pandemic has taught me I don't have to go to America or nowhere. God put me somewhere and I can stay where God put me. That's my few 2 cents this morning, Stokeley, for now.
Thank you, Reverend Hanson. Just maybe 2 things, however. The BLM site, well, according to the New York Post, and this is from back in 2020, it reads as follows: BLM site removes page on nuclear family structure amid NFL vets criticism. I don't know if you have any comments on that. In other words, the page that they had on their website, which I do recall reading in 2020, where they had issues with the nuclear family structure, they eventually removed that page. I don't know if it means that they have changed their views, but they removed the page. And one thing, Reverend Hanson,
if you remove
gather. Go ahead, Reverend Hanson.
If you remove something and you don't replace it with something else, then it means you have not changed your position. You just hide, or trying to do it a different way. So once you if you remove it, you need to replace it. Let us see what you are now standing for if you have a change of heart. And they have not done that. So we are assuming that they are still, in that place where they did nothing for the nuclear family.
Yes, and being against the nuclear family structure is described as a central tenet of Marxism in the same New York Post piece. In terms of Jamaica, I gather that in about 2018, the LGBTQ flag was or might have been flown at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. I've been trying to see if I can have that corroborated, but so I gather. I just thought I'd mention that, Reverend Hanson.
I can tell you, Stokeley, every time the LGBT flag has been up, the Love March movement, we have been out there protesting. They skipped last year because our protest in August on Independence Day in 2021 went viral and was covered by a number of U.S. media houses, right? So they skipped 2022 altogether. But every time it is up, we have been protesting. I think the important message here, and I think Reverend Hanson hit the nail on the head. The U.S. Embassy, unfortunately, seems to be committed to promoting evil things. If you look at what happened in the United States, even with Black Lives Matter, they burnt down entire cities. It's an organization of social anarchy. You understand? And the only reason that I'm not out there protesting is, I mean, apart from the fact that LMM, we would have to further discuss things, but the one of the reasons that I'm not out there protesting is because there's no chance that BLM as an organization would flourish in Jamaica. It just wouldn't make any sense. You get me? But the LGBT advocates are promoting the abolition of our laws and changing of our culture, and that is a very real threat. I don't think BLM itself is a threat on the ground in Jamaica, but they should definitely take down the flag because it is still promoting that are against our culture in terms of what they stand for. And why would the U.S. Embassy decide to support an organization that is being investigated for fraud? And that is really in quite a quandary because the money that they treated as though they're a grassroots organization did not go to the grassroots people. It went to the top organizers who, as Reverend Hanson said, are living lavishly in these ginormous houses that cost so much money when the issues that they are not actually standing for. So it was
what
a message? Yeah.
What message do you want to leave with Jamaicans, Reverend Hanson, in light of the flying of the BLM flag at the U.S. Embassy? What message, if any, would you like to leave with Jamaicans?
US can only do what they are doing because we allow them to do it. Because we are afraid of them, we are intimidated, we feel that without the US we can't survive, we can't live. I am going to say to us, no, it doesn't matter how big you are, you must stand on principle. And it doesn't matter how small you are, you should stand on principle. Principle, you stand on what is right. It doesn't matter. And it don't make no sense. You stand for everything because you are going to fall. And so I want to say to Jamaica, yes, US might be big and powerful and we might be small, but I never forget one preacher said, put no matter how big you are, put you in a room with a mosquito for the whole night and see how much problem that mosquito gives you. So we must remember that even though we are small, we can stand for our values and our principles, and we should never let anybody determine what our values and our principles should be. So I'm just saying, let us not be afraid of the US anymore. Let us fear God and keep his commandments.
I agree. Let us fear God and keep his commandments. Let us not be afraid of any particular country or person. Dr. Daniel Thomas, any comments before we wrap this segment in light of, especially, I think you are aware, sir, there is a trial of the case involving the Buggery law. Maurice Tomlinson is one of the parties in the case against the government of Jamaica, and there are a number of interested parties, including church organizations, and that case starts next week. The trial of it.
Certainly.
Scheduled to start next week. Any parting words, Dr. Thomas?
Yeah, man. Love March, we are part of that trial as well in defending our law against buggery. Just want to encourage the Jamaican people. Let us keep watchful and prayerful. We are on the battlefield. Okay? Yeah. It is important for every single citizen of this country to understand that we are in a battle for the future of this country and that there are entities, not just the US Embassy or the US government, but there are entities external to us that would hope that they are able to seduce us to go in evil directions in several different ways. We have to be watchful and let us not pretend as though oh, we can just go to work and go back home and then everything is going to be okay. No, you have to fight for your family. You have to fight for your city. You have to fight for your country. All right. The Love March movement will be watching out for if they are raised by the LGBT flag. We'll be out there protesting every single day that LGBT flag is up, if it is put back up. And we're encouraging persons. And also, finally, to Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, dear Minister, please, if you could speak to the U.S. ambassador, why do they continue to breach the Vienna Convention? It has been said that with the increase in the salaries for ministers, that the jobs will be done a bit better. And so we're looking forward to seeing the Minister of Foreign Affairs speak and meet with the U.S. ambassador concerning the fact that they continue to breach the Vienna Convention. A number of articles there by flying
only because of time. Only because of time, Dr. Thomas. I think we're totally out of time. I want to quickly mention that the trial dates in this month of June 2023, which interestingly is LGBTQ Pride Month, celebrated around the world. The court dates are June 26th, 27th, and 28th, 2023. Christians need to be praying. I think you both agree, Reverend Hanson and Dr. Thomas. We have to leave it there today. We're totally out of time. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
JN Bank Small Business Loans. Tell us your business and let's turn your ambitions into reality. The time by JN Bank Small Business Loans is
7:31.
We can light up your world with the rays of the sun, putting pure energy in the palm of your hand.
For over 20 years, Fosrich has been putting a world of energy in your hands. Now we bring you big savings with our line of solar energy products and LED lighting. Financing now available for all your home and commercial retrofit projects. Consult with our in-house staff or certified professional engineers for all your electrical needs. Fosrich Lifestyle. It's electric. Fosrich, your energy world.
Educom does it again with the mega car loan sale. 100% financing, interest rate of 6.95% and up to 10 years to repay. Hurry now and visit any of our 9 branches. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 or WhatsApp 876-559-7575 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Value through service.
Do you have a heart condition? Your care should be in the hands of our experienced cardiovascular team at Partners Interventional Center of Jamaica. We're one of the leading heart centers for angiogram, stenting, pacemakers, EP studies, and ablation therapy. PICJ has the expertise and latest technology to treat all your heart needs. Call 876-995-7425 or email info@pic-jm.com for appointments. PICJ, your partners for life.
I will follow Grace Sardine, follow the better flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the making up. Follow the one with pepper, that's the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody sell it. You all of them nice.
Grace Sardines, follow the better flavor.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marsh. Let's take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Gleaner, we have a story of concern, housing hazard, NEPA, KSAMC silent on approval processes. Geology Division says Tavistock poor suitability zone for housing development. This is a story of concern here. There's a picture referring to a section of the main road in Tavistock Terrace in Upper St. Andrew was blocked after contractors cut road to a property on the hill and encountered difficulties. The newly cut road collapsed during heavy rains on Thursday, June 9th, blocking off the main road. We turn now to the Observer. Healthcare boost. 400 student medical facility for Montego Bay. A bit of positive news here. Ironshore St. James, a 400-student state-of-the-art medical training facility, is set to open its doors in Montego Bay by this October. And we turn now to Loop Jamaica news. A positive story for younger persons. Young entrepreneurs make a splash with flavored water business. It features a gentleman known here as, well, his name is Mark McLegan. Swiftly joined forces with his childhood friend when approached with the concept of launching a flavored water business targeting school children. Those and many other stories in our various news sources. Of course, coming up next, we'll be looking at feedback to our Facebook and WhatsApp question, which is, what do you think about the BLM flag flying at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston? If you haven't done so yet, leave a comment on our Facebook or YouTube Love One FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for another exciting show inside Alive 1 to 5 this Thursday, June 22? Well, join me, your host, Sarah Albert. Sure, if you want for another time to recollect and to reconnect, stay tuned for the brain testing winter size at 1:45. Then prayer blast will be at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside pieces of the past we share with you on the parish of St. Catherine. Then at 3 p.m., Met We Talk with throwback artists spanning over 25 years in the gospel music industry. Bridget Blucher Part 2. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This Throwback Thursday, June 22 on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Summer's coming up. What are you going to do? I don't know. I'm just glad school is going on a break. Yeah, me too. I want to go somewhere nice with my mommy and daddy. Did you know Love 101 is going on the road? I wonder if my grandma would let you guys come with me and my family to I Love Summer. I Love Summer? What's that, Chrissy? I Love Summer is Love 101 FM Joe's show. They're going to 8 different parishes to talk to kids, and they'll have giveaways and prize, kiddie village, games, contests, and activities for everybody in the family, even kids. For real? That sounds like a lot of fun. I want to go. I'm going to ask my parents if we can go. Will they have food? Of course, food is on sale. Food vendors on the location. Nice natural juice from Clarendon blends and plenty more. I know you love your belly, so you'll be alright. Yes, I know my auntie and brother will want to come too. So this is going to be fun. Yep, so we can play together with our friends when we go. This is why I love summer.
I Love Summer, Saturday, June 24, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Spanish Town Shopping Center, right by the clock. Live on Love 101 FM, the family station, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
The Eastwood Park New Testament Church of God presents Let's Go Up Higher Part 2 with ministry from Kukudu, Petra Kay, Sebastian Graham, and more. 1,500 pre-sold, 1,700 at the gate. Children 12 and under.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. Let's join Jukal for a look at how our Facebook and WhatsApp, our social media friends, answer today's question. What do you think about the BLM flag flying at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston? The Black Lives Matter flag. Jukal. Any comments, Jukal? I gather there might be a few. Maybe not yet.
Are you hearing me? Can you hear me? Yes, I do have some. Faith from Washington Gardens says.
What are the responses, Jukal?
Faith from Washington
Not sure
Gardens.
if we're hearing you.
I can
Oh,
hear
we're
you.
hearing you now. Go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. Faith from Washington Garden says, good morning to you all. All lives matter. This must be reflected by the right attitudes towards each other, not flags. Flags are not necessary. I do have one from Carol. Carol says, BLM does not stand for righteousness. They're hiding behind the fact that Black people are being treated unfairly by white people. Be not deceived, my people. God is not mocked. Let's stand for righteousness. Then we have Cherry from Spanish Town saying, all lives matter, all lives are important. What we need is a change of heart and mind, pure mind. Then we have one here from Edna. This is the final one for today.
Good morning, Morning Wash. Good morning, Love 101 listeners and staff. Well, my opinion on the BLM flags flying at U.S. Embassy in our country, Jamaica, it's a good one. It should be there a long time. It should be flying a long time, you know. So many Black lives have gone down unnecessarily. You understand? And when George Floyd was killed, I was one of the demonstrators out here on social media. I'm so happy for that. Happy. Black lives should matter all over the world.
And those are the responses that we have here on our WhatsApp line.
Thank you, Jukal. Thank you, sir. And we move right into the second watch. And the second watch will be of great interest to persons who are interested in following up on scholarships, because it is scholarship season. And with the cost of higher education, when we speak about scholarships, we're focusing specifically on scholarships for higher education, college and university level, tertiary level. The competition for space to institutions of higher learning is very, very fierce. And it takes a lot to prepare to get a scholarship, to pay the thousands upon thousands of dollars. And we usually mean thousands of dollars in United States currency to pay the tuition alone to go to some of these institutions, and you will have other expenses. When is it that a scholarship to go to a foreign university or a local university a better option? In some cases, going overseas might not be the right option. Maybe there's better training for what you want to do right here in Jamaica. What are the secrets to preparing for and applying for and securing one of these scholarships? Well, we should be having online this morning Tracy Hyman, Chief Executive Officer of Scholastic Oasis Caribbean, otherwise called SOC. She's regarded as a scholarship expert, and she's also an author, scholarship expert and guide. We also have Nathan Henderson. Nathan is a multi-scholarship awardee. Good morning, Miss Hyman, and good morning, Mr. Henderson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great having you both. Now, getting right into it, what is a scholarship? Because people hear these words being thrown around, but maybe, Miss Hyman, you can be very specific with us. What is a scholarship? Why are they in such high demand? How useful are they? Why are they even offered in the first place? What is a scholarship, Ms. Hyman?
Well, it's really payments made to, you will say, a student to finance their education. And of course, the payment meaning that the costs are not on the person who will receive the scholarship. Somebody else is really offering, or I would say investing in the person and paying their way to university. They are, and thus it's critical. Some, if you're talking about slangs now, you'll have slangs on the road to say scholarships are free money. But it's really not free, it's really an investment by that individual or an organization to really finance your higher education studies in this
And
context.
I suppose that answers the question, why are they in such high demand? Because if you're getting money that you didn't earn or that you didn't have to withdraw from your savings, clearly you will be demanding that money, that scholarship. Miss Hyman?
Well, it's not clear, because you surprised. May I say Stokeley or Mr. Marshall? Which one?
Stokely is fine. We have known each other for a while. You can decide which one you wish to call me, Tracy or Miss Hyman.
You'll be surprised that even though that there are many scholarships that go unclaimed, and that you have persons who actually are aware of some of the scholarships and don't apply.
Hold that thought, Miss Hyman, because we are already upon a break and we need to bring in Mr. Henderson just after. Listeners, we'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
Sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the pan with pepper. Better the winner. Shop on supermarkets. Everybody
Play sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
7:46.
At Flow, we are determined to get it right. Now, over 60% of Jamaica has access to our fiber fast network, with over 800 communities being upgraded since 2020. And there's more to come. Everything we're doing is inspired by our harshest critic, you. Join Jamaica's fiber fast network and rediscover Flow today.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. 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 Everything was a made. Bashco. Quality service guaranteed on a Bashco. Bashco. Furniture for your house, including everything for your kitchen, rooms, and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco.
Educom does it again with the mega car loan sale. 100% financing, interest rate of 6.95% and up to 10 years to repay. Hurry now and visit any of our 9 branches. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 or WhatsApp 876-559-7575 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Value through service.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&M Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&M Bank will help you find a way.
For 51 years, Under the Law has been helping you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesday by the Tourism Product Development Company, enhancing and developing Jamaica's tourism product. Under the Law at 6:20 a.m., 2:35, 6:45, and 9:10 p.m. on Love 101 FM.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the second watch, and our guests are Tracy Hyman, Chief Executive Officer of Scholastic Oasis Caribbean, scholarship expert and guide and author. And we also have Nathan Henderson, multi-scholarship awardee. Miss Hyman, just before the break, you indicated that a lot of scholarships are not taken up. I want to bring in Mr. Henderson now. Mr. Henderson, good morning again.
Good morning.
Now, you are a multi-scholarship awardee. Can you break that down for us? How many scholarships have you got, Mr. Henderson?
Well, it sounds, when you say it that way, it sounds very, it sounds very excessive. No, I'm a recipient of the UWI Graduate Scholarship from 2013 to 2015, and the Fulbright Last Spouse Scholarship from 2020 to 2022. I'm currently doing my PhD in material science at the University of Central Florida.
And it sounded like you were going to go on to say that you got another scholarship again and again. Okay, so what were some of the things that you did to prepare for the scholarship? What were some of the things that helped you to find out what these scholarships are? How does someone like Tracy Hyman help you to prepare for these scholarships and getting them? Help us, Mr. Henderson, to understand all of this.
How much time do you have? I joke. So there is a process involved.
Well, first of all, you apply to the university first, or you seek the scholarship before you apply to the university. Walk us through.
Well, that's actually a very good question. So you actually have to do research about the scholarship opportunity that you're interested in. A good place to start is actually to start with your why, your purpose, your long-term goals, your objectives, because those will determine things like where you want to study, perhaps the school that you choose to study for, and also the scholarship that may be best suited to your choice of study, your path of study. And then, in Matthew 7, we're told to ask, seek, and knock, which is true. The process of researching and finding out the details about this opportunity can take a while. And so it's advised to give yourself a long time to look for key things. And I'll give you a few of those. Some of them may be the profile of the prospective applicant. So some scholarships are looking for a particular scholar profile, meaning they're looking for people with certain kinds of research experience, academic experience, but also your extracurricular experience, participation in sports, participation in extracurriculars such as leadership. Maybe they're looking for people that have experience in debating and other kinds of things that make you a more well-rounded candidate. And these are things you want to know because, as we say, sometimes you can go shopping for scholarships looking for one that best suits who you are as a student and what you want to do.
Okay. And how does someone like Tracy Hyman from her organization, her business, how does someone like her help you in that process?
Well, experience is often one of these things that you may not have as a student coming into the process of looking for a scholarship. So you may not know what scholarships are out there. As was said in the previous section, many of these scholarships actually go unclaimed. And it's not just scholarships, there are things like bursaries and studentships where they may not necessarily pay for all of your tuition, but they may give you support as a student to maybe study overseas for a period of time, or maybe to fund some of your academic endeavors. And if you don't know, then you can't claim it. And so someone who's an expert in the field will already have a list of the scholarships, and they can look at your resume and look at the opportunities that they already know about and help you to prepare, help you to match those two. It can also help you to elevate your profile, things like making sure your CV and your resume are up to date and are tailored in such a way as to emphasize the attributes of your character that you may not necessarily know how to bring across to a scholarship panel. And two other important things: making sure your resume is strong, and also making sure that you have a good personal statement. And for those of you who may not know, the personal statement is sort of the best way to bring across yourself to the scholarship panel. It's your introduction, your first introduction to the scholarship panel. This is where you'll write an essay that maybe tells them about who you are as a person, what your goals and ambitions and dreams are in life, and also how the scholarship is a good fit for you. And I mean, if you're applying for the scholarship, it should be a good fit. But this is your chance to sell the story, quote unquote, of how the scholarship will enable you to further your academic endeavors, but also to benefit the country. Because the goal of being educated is so that you're able to play a role in society and help to uplift and enhance society for everyone else.
Do only quote unquote brainy people get scholarships, Mr. Henderson?
No. No, that's an easy no. No. So like I said, there's some scholarships that's actually looking for well-rounded people, and they will prioritize people well-rounded, meaning, yes, of course you have grades because the goal is to study, but they're also looking for a candidate that has experience beyond and above, beyond and above the grade. So it's not just your GPA. They may be looking for
grade point average, you mean?
Yeah, your grade point average, yes, or whatever method or metric of judging your.
And then you have sports scholarships as well, and you have
sports scholarships.
Scholarships for persons who are performing in the arts, that sort of thing. Yes,
exactly. And even in those scholarship areas, you don't necessarily have to be the standout. But again, it's important to look and see what the scholarship is asking for, and that is where having an expert to guide you in your application process is useful.
Miss Hyman, Scholastic, your organization, you obviously have a lot of experience guiding persons who are seeking scholarships. Tell us a little bit, in a nutshell, the typical situation you might encounter. Someone approaches you and they might seem to be clueless as to what to do. How do you sort of prepare them? In a minute or two, explain that to us.
Well, quickly to answer you, I want to mention quickly, Stokeley, that back in the day, the scholarship funders, it was all about being bright and nerdy, as you would say, in terms of getting scholarships. I would say about 30 years ago. But I think the scholarship funders have looked on the model now and realized that that alone is not enough, right? You need to have contribution, as my colleague said, in terms of your leadership skills and what else you're bringing to the table. You have persons who will approach our organization to answer you, who are searching for scholarship. They may be clueless, but what I find most of the time is that persons don't believe that they are worthy enough and capable to access the scholarship. Many times I've come across that. I found that very strange, and so what we have to do a lot of the times is to work on their vision boards and work on things that will build up self-esteem before the whole application process starts. My colleague was speaking about the personal statement. Before you even get to the personal statement, you have to be working on the mental state of the person, encourage them first before you get to the written document. I
think the truth, Tracy, is that we may not say it, but we live in a very tiered society, and we, whether deliberately or otherwise, we ascribe status to people, and we find ways in the school system, etc., not in the official curriculum, but otherwise, to let people feel dumbed down, to let people feel like they're not worthy. So I'm very happy that one of the things you do is to build up the self-esteem of the candidate before you even get to helping them to apply. So that is a definite challenge you are experiencing, Ms. Hyman.
Definitely. And I think that the issue is because of maybe in how our education system is constructed. Well, more so especially when I had gone, you normally reward us the top 3, right?
Yes,
and what may happen is that you may have the top 10, but because they're only resources for 3, you only get 3. But that is why at the higher education, because I was of the same belief too. But when I got to the higher education level, because I eventually got a full scholarship to go to Japan. When you think about scholarships, you're thinking about USA, UK, Canada. When you're looking from in terms of a Caribbean perspective, here I went to Japan. That opened up for me a reality that even if the resources in the Caribbean may be small, it's a big world. And they're looking for my expertise all across the globe, right? So that is very critical. So that's one of the things that we do. We expose them not only to the traditional scholarship of USA, UK, and Canada. Let me tell you, those countries are going through some things right now. Let me encourage Jamaicans to think outside the box and consider other countries. I won't be biased yet and say what, but think of others, because they're there and they're offering better financial, what would I say? They're giving you better packages than what we know as the USA, UK, and Canada. Yes, I know that we have our relatives and we have contacts nearby, and so that the parents may not necessarily want to send their children all across the world. And I understand that, because you need to have a foundation. But be open, parents, because the parents call me too. Be open if the child has the fortitude to go and study outside of the traditional market.
Have to leave it there this morning. Tracy Hyman and Nathan Henderson, totally out of time, but very interesting. Tracy Hyman, CEO of Scholastic Oasis Caribbean, and Nathan Henderson, multi-scholarship awardee. And thank you, listeners, for being with us today. We are, of course, the number 4 station in the island and the number 1 gospel station in Jamaica. Please download our Love 101 app and stay connected to us to keep ahead and abreast of controversial and topical issues. Join my colleague, Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint, next week as he looks at other issues. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests. I am Stokeley Marsh, and handing back to Love in the Morning with Jokal.
The Morning Watch was brought to you by Educom Cooperative Credit Union, proving value through service, and Washco, the store that gives you more.